Since the beginning of 2011, the special theme of Shine is, of course, New Year, New You. And the best resolution one can adopt this year is, of course, to quit smoking. And the best way to do that is to get in touch with the NHS and to talk about it. We have got Elizabeth Woodsworth with us. Hello, Elizabeth.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thanks for joining us today. First of all, I would like you to tell us about the NHS program about quitting smoking to help.
The NHS quitting smoking certainly ensures about 50% of people do actually quit smoking. You've got a far better chance of quitting if you do access the NHS Stop Smoking services. People have a misconception actually about us. They think we are a team of anti-smoking brigade, really. That's how they perceive us, and we're not. We're a really friendly bunch of staff, and we do tailor services to everybody's particular need. We don't run groups all the time. You don't have to sit in a circle and my name's Joe Bloggs. It's not like that at all. We are really friendly, and as I say, we tailor services to individual people, so you can just drop into a supermarket and see an advisor, a doctor's surgery and see an advisor. So it's very, very different. We in Oldham actually work from all sorts of different venues. We even have a stall in the market, just like a lot of other services do now. So we do actually go out and speak to people and just see exactly what they want.
Now, Elizabeth, you raised a very good point there. A major apprehension a lot of people have, of course, is they feel like they might be patronised. They feel quite apprehensive to go and speak to an advisor because they feel like they're going to get lectured. They've heard it all before. They know they shouldn't be doing it and they can't help it and so forth. But actually, you're not there to lecture at all, are you? They're literally to help them.
That's right. We don't lecture at all. People are already coming because they've identified a problem themselves, and that's whether it's a health problem, a financial problem, or just this new you. I want to start and change, and that's what we work on. You know, people have made that decision. They've heard all this before, and they need to move on, and that's what we do.
What happens when a person first joins the program?
When they first join the programme, we go through the best way for that person to quit, because everybody's different. And on the whole, it does take people a lot of times of trying to quit smoking, because you've got the addiction, you've got the behaviour, so you've got to learn to cope differently, because a lot of people we see have been smoking for years and years and years and actually can never remember themselves as somebody who has never smoked.
That's a really interesting point. When I haven't smoked, I've never smoked myself, I spoke to a lot of smokers, it seems like it's almost, the battle's in two stages. You have the actual nicotine addiction, but then also the habits that are learnt, and that, you know, you're used to having a cigarette in your hand, or doing it, you know, when you're on the phone or whatever. You have that sort of, that link in your brain, and it's breaking that habit as well, isn't it?
That's right. And what we try and do is get people to identify how they're going to cope with those situations, whether it's having a cup of coffee and a cigarette, using the telephone and having a cigarette. There's always that link, and it's getting them to think about how they're going to do things differently, because they lead their lives, and we just guide them through it, if you like. And we see people for as long as they need us. On the whole, if people use things like, well, there are two drugs that people can use to help them stop smoking, but also the nicotine replacement. And what that would do is replace the nicotine that people would miss in cigarettes.
So it's not going cold turkey, really?
Absolutely
it's a gradual
not.
process.
It's a gradual process, and that's what people need to think about, because they've smoked for a number of years, and just spending, on average, it's about 3 months. It takes people about 3 months to quit successfully from beginning to end, and that's generally, that's not everybody, but generally that's how long it takes. And people need to remember that it's not something that is quick.
It's not an overnight thing.
It's not an overnight thing, and the best way to do it is take it gradually. They've smoked for years and years and years. Don't make it fast to try and quit, because that's when you're actually leaping over hurdles, not getting
that's
anywhere.
what my next question is related to, that being a specialist stop smoking service manager, what has your experience told you? That is it always difficult for everyone who smokes out there to quit smoking, or there are certain people who are quite determined to quit smoking, then it becomes easier for them? Yes,
unless they have problems, perceived stress problems in their life that have caused a problem. You might get somebody who's extremely determined, and then next week, unfortunately, they go through a bereavement and they're back on the cigarettes. If people are determined, most people we see are determined to quit, and they do sail through.
And let's talk about as well, you know, the reasons to give up smoking. I mean, a lot of people, it's obvious that the health benefits and the you know, the way you can save your life, but some staggering statistics I found here. 112,000 people each and every year, just here in the UK, die from smoking alone. I mean, every year, that's crazy. And half of all smokers die from a smoking-related disease.
That's
so
right.
Those statistics are so frightening. You just don't understand why someone would smoke. But of course, when you are a smoker, sometimes a lot of people are in denial. I've spoken to a lot of people who said, well, I've smoked for 50 years, the damage is done now, so I might as well keep up. But that's not the case, is it?
Absolutely not. You're never too old to give up smoking. In fact, the oldest person I helped to give up smoking was actually 86.
Wow.
And she gave up smoking because she loved to dance and had a problem with her foot, and the operation would be difficult. The healing process would be difficult if she didn't give up smoking. So she did, and she carried on dancing, which was absolutely brilliant.
And just quickly as well, you said that there's lots of advisors throughout the country in supermarkets and other places. So if somebody at home does want to get involved with the advisor, how do they go about that?
They can ring the NHS helpline, which is 0800 169 0169, or just contact the local NHS PCT.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. I hope that's inspired a lot of people because, as I say, staggering amount of people die each and every year. And it's not just yourselves who you'll be helping, it's your friends and family as well and those around you who care about you. So thank you very much for that, Elizabeth. Now, as we say, it is New Year, New You, and that's something we're going to be continuing with.